Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to the channel. Alright guys, so today we got some more Nightfall cards from Targon. And tomorrow we're going to be seeing the new Targon champion that's going to hopefully mess around with this Nightfall effect and make the deck much better with Nocturne. Nocturne is sort of a card that is not really going to be playable or at least we can't evaluate him enough until we see this new champion. So I'm hoping it's really good. As you guys know by now, I love this Nightfall effect. It is incredible and amazing, and we actually got some pretty sweet cards for this strategy. So the first one we have is a Lunari Duskbringer, a 1-mana 2/1 that states when I'm summoned, create a Dusk Petal Dust in hand. And the Dusk Petal Dust is a 1-mana that burst speed. The next time a unit with Nightfall you play this round costs 2 less. So the next time you'd play a unit, it costs 1 less. As long as it has Nightfall, which isn't hard to play in a Nightfall deck. You might even play this outside of a Nightfall deck for a couple reasons I'll talk about in a second. The next card we have is a Lunari Shadestalker, a 2-mana 2/3 with Nightfall Grant Me Elusive. The last card we have is 3-mana Crescent Guardian, Overwhelm 3/3 that states Nightfall Grant Me +2 attack. So, let's go back to the Dustbringer, I guess. No, you know what? We'll start with the Crescent Guardian because I believe it's the worst one. Let's start with the bad ones. So, Crescent Guardian is a 3-mana 3/3, already bad stats. Well, not bad stats, but it needs to have a good ability. The Avarice Entrapper, I think, creates a 1-mana 5/5 in the top 3 cards of your deck. The Kindly Tavern Keeper can heal 3, which has been seen to have some pretty powerful effects. What's some other vanilla 3-drops? The Legion something. The 5/4 that can't block. That's pretty strong. So this card has to have a lot of value in order to be good, to compete with the other 5-drops. And of course it has Nightfall, which automatically means it might be playable in the deck. Although we have seen some Nightfall cards in the past that just haven't been playable. So this card is a 3-mana 3/3 Overwhelm. Nightfall Grant Me +2 attack. I already said that. But the Nightfall makes it a 5/3. So as long as you're able to consistently make the Nightfall trigger, it's a 5/3 Overwhelm. Now here's something I want to talk about with the Nightfall keyword. You have to play another spell to make Nightfall good. Now that's not usually a problem. I mean, like, it's free value for you casting multiple spells in a turn. But if you're trying to play an aggressive strategy like Nocturne is trying to, you actually have to have a very high impact thing on your Nightfall keyword in order to make the other spell worth it. You're not going to use a Dusk Petal Dust, which is a free spell, by the way, on a card like Crescent Guardian, unless it has a very nice and powerful ability. The extra 2 attack for forcing you to play a 0 cost or a 1 cost spell is just so low impact. I don't know if you can afford to play this. A 5/3 is not very good stats. Get excited. Okay, I don't even need to talk about it. There's so many things that kill a unit at 3 health. It can't block units of the same value. Although it can't block units of a higher value for a good trade. But, I mean, you can never attack with this because it gives your opponent a better trade. If they have an Avarice Entrapper, they get a free 5/5, and you're left with no board. Like, okay, 1-mana 5/5, but this card got you no additional value like that. That is actually very bad. And although, okay, you're getting 2 damage, right? But 2 damage isn't going to matter. You're leveling up Nocturne, but you have other ways to do that. It's just so low impact that I think it has a hard time making the cut compared to a card like Doombeast. Doombeast can trade that, and it got you immediate value. It drained 2. That's a 4 health swing, and the 1-mana 5/5 is 1 additional mana for a 5/5. Obviously, that's pretty strong, but at least Doombeast has that immediate value where this card has a hard time getting any additional value. So Doombeast is going to be your automatic 3-drop. You're never going to want to play this over Doombeast, right? The Overwhelm doesn't matter with the 5 attack. It's just too low. The 3 health makes the 5 attack matter very little. If you're getting 2 extra damage or something, when trading this down, it's just usually not enough value. And I just think that this makes it a bad card. Now, enough of that card. Let's get on to the next one. It's a 2-mana 2/3 Lunari Shadestalker. Nightfall, grant me elusive. So the elusive keyword is pretty strong. In a lot of ways, this makes this unblockable unless you're going up against another elusive deck. Although this does give you an elusive blocker in that scenario, since most elusive decks are combo decks or aggro decks, which makes this card actually instantly valuable in the mirror matchup against elusives. Not exactly a mirror matchup, but in the normal matchup, you're going to be able to get 2 damage with this consistently once you've activated Nightfall. And with a card like Nocturne, that's going to be easy triggers on his level up. And 2 damage consistently in an aggro deck can mean a lot. This can punch in the last 2 damage. It could just be 6 damage over the game. That's a lot for 2 mana. And there's a lot of easy ways to activate Nightfall. But like I said, you have to... It takes 2 cards out of your hand, right? Maybe Fading Memories and a card like Lunari Duskbringer to make the Dusk Petal can help you get this. But those cards are valuable so much that this has to have a good effect. Now, we all know how strong the elusive keyword is. There's a whole deck built around it. There's a whole 2 decks built around it. So I think this card, helping you level up Nocturne is probably the most important thing. And getting in that damage for the aggro build is going to have enough of an impact. 2 damage consistently is probably good enough to make this card worth it. And 3 health on a 2 mana body is actually not bad either. It means it can't get Mystic Shotted. It means it has to get Excited or Thermo Beamed, which is a great card you're taking out of the opponent's hand. And even if you're not getting an attack with this, which is disappointing, especially because you put a Nightfall effect into it, if you're playing a card like Lunari Duskbringer, you're hopefully not running out of resources too fast. Now, that is the thing you have to note. When you're playing for the aggro strategy, your one worry is running out of resources way too fast. Most aggro decks can play cards and get the most value out of their cards and use a card like Decimate that deals 4 damage in 1 card. It's 5 mana, but it's 4 damage in 1 card. If this card doesn't get any damage in 1 card, it's kind of hard, or 2 cards, because you have to activate the Nightfall. And a card like Fading Memories is good for an aggro deck, right? Because it gets you that immediate value, but it's low long game. Which, for an aggro deck is pretty viable, but you still have to make sure you're not running out of resources too fast. So you do have to make sure you're playing easy Nightfall triggers, that's where this next card shines pretty well. It's a 1-mana 2/1 Lunari Duskbringer. When I'm summoned, create a Dusk Petal Dust in hand. The Dusk Petal Dust, like I said before, makes a Nightfall unit cost 1 less. Now, the thing that's great about this card is it costs a spell mana to make a unit cost 1 less. That means if you have 3 mana and 1 spell mana, you can cast 4 mana of unit mana. That's something we've never seen. We've never seen anything that can convert spell mana into unit mana. That is something basically unheard of. And that's pretty amazing, right? Seeing as this card can activate Nightfall very easily for free, and along with it, it's costing you a card that gives you a 2/1 body, right? You don't want to think about it as the 2/1 drawing a card, but you want to see it as the 2/1 giving you a free Nightfall trigger on another turn where you wouldn't have had it. And that's important because it's a unit mana that you're spending to get a free mana later. That's pretty powerful since we don't see a lot of 1 mana spells that can activate Nightfall. We've seen 0 cost, we've seen 2 cost, but not a lot of 0 cost. And this card is a 0 cost card that can do that. So this is going to help the Nightfall ability a lot. Being a free trigger for it and getting you that value and being the 1-drop that this deck needs is pretty strong. Lunari Shadestalker being an elusive just means it's pretty strong on its own. It's probably going to see a lot of experimentation, especially in a deck with Nocturne that needs to be leveled up and needs the chip damage and aggressiveness that this card can have. Crescent Guardian, a little bit too clunky. The 3 health means that it's probably not getting in the damage, and therefore you're putting in a Nightfall trigger for very low value. So it's probably not worth it over a card like Doom Beast. Anyway, guys, that's it for this video. I am so excited for the champion tomorrow. I can't wait to see how the strategy goes. So far, it hasn't been as nice or as powerful as the Leona deck we've seen, But I still have hope. I still have faith for this deck, and I hope you guys do as well. And I hope you guys do as well. Anyway, guys, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.